All right, y'all. It's Thursday night. You know what I'm going to do? I'm here to complain. I got a couple of friends with me tonight. We have Michelle J. You all know her. She's been a long-time subscriber here. And I really appreciate those long-time subscribers because those that come and go, they obviously don't get my attitude. And also with us is NC Prepper, better known as James Ashton in the real world.
That's right. That's right.
No camera.
Yeah, Michelle J has no camera because she did not want to appear. But we can hear her. Are you there, Michelle?
I am.
There we go. All right. I wanted to have her here because she is the one that actually got Pinball's fundraiser kicked off. If you guys, well, not kicked off, let's say when she got involved, it exploded. Let me put it that way. And James is with us because he lives in South Carolina where all the trouble went down. And he's going to tell you how comforting it is to be ready for a situation like this. But first, let me get with Michelle. Like I said, when you hooked up with Pinball, he was trying to get 100 food buckets together. That's all he was trying to do. And then you jumped on board, and it just kind of took off from there. So you want to tell us what happened from that point?
Well, we set the Give, Send, Go up, and once he put that on his video that he put out, it skyrocketed because we put in $10,000 and we wanted to have him match that, and he was willing to. And we started this that we wanted to get back, somewhere around $20,000. Right before we got on here, we're at 187,000 plus.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That is
and awesome. It's just by word of mouth. I mean, it's just spreading.
That's great. That's fantastic.
That's your prepper community.
And I think you went into Greenville yesterday. Is that where you
we went into? It was actually just outside of Greenville, but in Greene County.
Ah, okay. And I'm sure the citizens there were very receptive.
They were. When we showed up with the truck, the folks that we were delivering to, they started making phone calls to get people there to help unload the truck. And they put the call out and just everybody showed up.
That's
there
awesome.
Was probably 40 people there by the time we left with the truck.
That's great. That's fantastic right there. The federal government didn't help you out with that?
They weren't anywhere to be seen.
No.
Imagine that.
Yeah, really. I'm going to tell you what, this has got me bent so sideways.
Would also like to put out there that FEMA has shown up in Greene County. I can't speak for Cocke County that Pinball is working with. They did show up. They took supplies and left.
Really?
Yes.
So they took your supplies and then they just took off?
Not ours. Other charities in Greene County. We took ours to an undisclosed location.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, Governor Bill Lee, I know that guy. I remember when he was a lawyer in Nashville, back when I was a police officer. He was kind of, I'll say, a questionable character then, and that was years ago. But it was obviously perfect for him to get where he is to be governor. And look at what he's doing with it. I mean, I've heard complaints from people in Tennessee. I still have contacts there from back in the day, and they're just not happy with the way he's handling things up there, especially, Pinball. And we've all seen Pinball.
Well, I don't know about Unicoi or Cocke County, but I know that even in Greene County, they were not declared a disaster area.
Oh, wow. By either FEMA or Tennessee, right?
Right.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So that's why they're not there, is because they say, well, this isn't a disaster county, so we're not going to provide you anything. Right.
I know that's why FEMA didn't do it, because they don't have the money to do it. It's ridiculous that this turd right here just came right out and said that, FEMA's broke. They don't have the money to take care of American citizens that need assistance. And it's all because they spent it all on illegal immigrants. Right now, as we sit here, as we speak, they have a fund set aside with $650 million in it to care for immigrants and Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, Cleveland, cities like that. It's sitting there waiting. They say they can't touch it because it's earmarked for that. While we have Americans that are in need, that are dying. There are people dying still, not just from the storm, from a lack of medication, stuff like that. And they won't touch that money because it's going to illegal. See, I'm about to get off here. I'm about to tear off big time.
They just said on that thing right
Yeah.
there that feds were overbooking hotel rooms
Yeah.
for the people
Yeah, I'm
when
about
they come into the area.
I'm about to get off here, and I really don't want to
Yes.
do that. But
Talk calmly and sternly.
let me just back off here a little bit because I'm about to go. But while I'm on that topic, the federal government has spent $66 billion on immigrants in the last 3 years. 66 with a B billion. They've sent over 200 billion to Ukraine. And now they're telling us we don't have the money to take care of Americans. This is the kind of shit. Oh, excuse me. See, I went off. I wasn't
Yeah, I
supposed
want you to take a sip of apple juice.
This is the kind of thing that causes a revolution, guys. This is the kind of thing that makes people rise up and say, I've had enough. And we don't need that. I don't think that's what I'm calling for. But this is the kind of thing that leads to that. Before I get off too far on that, I want to go over to James.
Yeah, simmer down.
I'm trying to calm down a little bit here.
Yeah.
But my man here, you've seen him before. He's been on this show. I think it was last year you was with me. But when everything went down, you're in an area that was called for evacuation. Is that right?
There's some large bodies of water that Catawba runs into. So we're a little bit higher up, but there's places around us that there was some evacuations called for.
Okay, but when the lights went out,
Yep.
everything went bad. What did you do?
We started noticing the power went out, I'd say around 9 in the morning, and it flickered a couple times, and then it just went out. And I just slowly started bringing things out. First, I started trying to prioritize what would be the most important things to try to save. So I pulled my small generator out and just put our refrigerator on it. And then and then we also put up a little radio that I've had for ages, but so our phones were out. We were having trouble with AT. We've got AT&T. It was almost non-existent. Our local cable company, I noticed that our cable modem was out. Later in the day, that all came back. Our power never did. But we just started slowly prioritizing things as the day progressed. I was slowly bringing things out, but it's work your plan is really what I was thinking of.
So you really, there was never any anxiety on your part, or?
To be perfectly frank, no, because I think the nice thing was, if you can say it happened early enough in the day that we had plenty of daylight. The storms were, it seemed to me like the damage was further away from us, but we were still affected by it, where you could see all down one of the major roads, all of our power lines are above ground. So we just had multiple poles just taken out by trees falling, because it was already wet from rain a couple of days before.
Yeah.
But really, having been, I think that one of the things that Kim and I try to do is we live it. We don't just put it in a closet and act like everything is great. We rotate our water. We rotate the gas in the cans. We rotate our food. We live it. We don't just put it away for a rainy day.
Good. That's what you got to do when you got to live it. If you're going to prep, you got to live it. You know,
Yeah,
it's something you have to do every day. It's a mindset you have to have.
we don't live in a bunker, but we live it. You know, so you know we keep water on. We keep the big 5-gallon jugs of water on hand. We really didn't miss a beat other because we were able to just turn our refrigerator on, and luckily I've got a Honda generator, and it just doesn't. It's not real loud, so it didn't draw a lot of attention to us, and
Good.
we did great. I mean, now we weren't in like the thick of it, you know, but we were without power for I'd say more than 24 hours.
Good. But you just didn't. You weren't. There was no anxiety. You were ready to go. You had what you needed.
And we did. Yeah.
There you go. How'd you cook your food?
So you showed them on your channel before. We've got those little butane stoves.
Yeah.
I've had mine for probably, I'm not kidding, like 10 years. I don't even know they had them that ran on propane when I bought mine. But I've got a case of those butane, like paint cans, rattle cans that I just keep in my grocery pantry. And so it got to be about lunchtime, and I think I sent you a picture of us cooking lunch. I set them up on our countertop, and we were made some water, and we cooked some food and reheated some stuff that we had in the freezer. But because we had our generator, we didn't miss a beat.
Good. All right, now I've cooled off enough. I'm gonna go back to Michelle for a minute.
Yeah,
I was getting bent, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. There is a link in the description below if you want to, kick in a little bit on their what they're doing.
Okay.
They're still taking donations. They're still taking supplies to people that need it, and they do need it. There's still people. We have a contact in Asheville. It's a friend of Pam's, and she was telling us that, there's still no power there. There's no water there. There's actually people dying because they can't get their insulin.
Oh no.
The medication is running out. The food's running out. Everything's running short.
Yeah.
And it's still a mess there. So it's not over. I mean, here we are a week out, and we still have that. And there's still places in Tennessee and parts of South Carolina that still need help. So if you drop down there, hit that donation button and help out. I know Michelle said you guys are putting together another load, right?
Yes, we have been working with Pinball, and we think we have sourced an entire truckload of water.
Oh, nice.
We think we have sourced another entire truckload of water.
That's great.
Are hoping that we can get our hands on, I think he said 10 pallets of diapers, 10 pallets of wipes,
3 pallets
of ready-to-feed infant formula.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we are going to get with some places down here on the more southern end of Tennessee to see if we can't source some of that stuff here.
Yep. I'm sure there's a need. Is that Randy out here in the background?
Yes, sir.
Glad you're here, buddy. I appreciate it. You guys done a fabulous job.
We did what we were called to do.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. You don't know how much we appreciate you guys doing this. Thank goodness here in Florida, we were set up. I mean, our governor, let me pop this up there. I got to give him credit. He had us ready to rock and roll from day one. And we had so many supplies down here, and so much that we could go to that he's actually sending stuff to other states to help them out up in Georgia and Tennessee and North and South Carolina. But he had us ready to go. So hope you guys will remember that. Next time the presidential race runs around, because I'm pretty sure he's going to be on board with that.
I will say.
Yeah. Hey, that guy's awesome. All right. How did your James? Let me come back to you.
Yeah.
When the lights went out, did you have enough lights that run off the generator, or what did you guys do?
I put up a couple of LED lights, kind of like what you were showing on your last video. And then at night, we put them in really safe places, but we actually had our like the little oil lamps, hurricane lamps out. We had them like on the fireplace mantle, a backup on the counter, one in our bathroom upstairs. So I don't know. It was kind of colonial almost. But even that worked great. I keep like 10. I think we've got roughly about 10 of those little bottles from Walmart of just lamp oil that I've kept. Never goes bad. Just so that's more or less what we did. We really in our house we've got a couple guest bedrooms, but we spend most of our time either downstairs or up in the bedroom itself. So it really wasn't too hard to keep the place. I take that back. Kim's got a bunch of Halloween decorations out, so we turned some of that stuff on, and we had a little bit of a good time. I mean, you hate to say that with the devastation and everything that's gone on, but we made the best of it.
Good. A little romance going with the candles and stuff going.
Yeah. Well, we had the windows open and we had the lovely hum of a generator coming through the window.
There you go.
Yeah, because we didn't have AC. Yeah, so we had some power. I had a fan, a battery powered fan, and we just left the windows open all night. Luckily, it was pretty. It's been cooling down, so it could have been a whole lot worse if it had been in the middle of summer.
Yeah. Well, Michelle, I know it rolled through Tennessee there too. Did you guys lose power?
We are off grid, so we never lose power.
Oh, there you go.
There were some power outages in our area, but it was very minimal.
Oh, okay. Good. That's a good thing. But being off grid's even better. What you got, babe?
Somebody said that Katie said that some of the breweries in Asheville area are bottling water.
Oh, cool. The breweries in Asheville are bottling water.
That's pretty cool.
That's good. Yeah, that's great.
Someone else mentioned Budweiser has done that before too.
Yeah. Also, this is a good time to throw this up there. I don't know if you guys are in that area with power or if you're off grid there and you have a Starlink system, but in the areas you see on the map there, you can tap into Starlink for free. Elon opened it up to everybody. If you don't have a system, I know there are people actually giving those systems away. I don't know if you guys remember an old NASCAR driver. His name was Greg Biffle. He lives in North Carolina. He has his own helicopter. And when all of this happened, he made contact with somebody he knew that worked for Elon Musk. And the next day, they dropped in 4 tractor trailers from helicopters with supplies for people, with Starlink systems, generators, the whole 9 yards. And Greg Biffle's been delivering those to people with his helicopter.
Wow.
So
I will also say that the people are stepping up. When we went and we met with our truck at our first stop, got them loaded and got some pictures and stuff, met the truck at the second location, got her loaded again. And obviously on the interstate, she's a truck. She's driving a lot slower than we did. So we got there to the off ramp about 15 minutes before she did. I can't tell you how many pickup trucks that we saw from out of state come into Greene County with generators and boxes of food and supplies, awesome. Just random people showing up.
That's great. That's great.
So that it's coming in from all over the place.
Well, we all know the federal government's let these people down. We know that for a fact. But Mayorkas told them, we got bad weather coming. You should have been ready for it. You guys know how I feel about this bald head for this guy.
Yeah.
Trying to be nice. Mm-hmm. But Americans are having to step up and take care of Americans because our government is not taking care of us. They're worried more about future Democratic votes from people all over the world than they are about Americans right here, right now. and it just ticks me off so bad. I don't know if you guys saw a video. It's floating around. I saw it today. I tried to download it so I could show parts of it here, and I couldn't do it. But it's a guy named Jonathan Howard. He's on Instagram. He's a member of the Florida State Guard, not the Florida National Guard. DeSantis sent some of them up to the Carolinas, up to North Carolina, to help people out. And he put out a video on Instagram telling the truth, what's going on up there. You know, there are hundreds of people dead they're not telling you about. There are people dying they're not telling you about. They're keeping the media away from where he is and where his unit is. And you know it's real. His name's Jonathan Howard. He's in the Florida State Guard. He gave me he put out the unit name, and I can't remember it. But you know it's real, or he wouldn't do all that identification. That would be so easy to track. But he's just upset because the federal government's doing nothing. And from what they are not doing, they are not letting the media report it. It's all just shut down. And that's why. I'm sorry, go ahead, Michelle.
The other issue that they're having in these counties, not just in East Tennessee, but in North Carolina, and I don't know about South Carolina, Starlink's going to help with this. They've shut the internet off. People can't put things out. Really? Yeah, we had several people tell us we can't post anything.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, if they have Starlink, they can't stop it because there's no land-based lines that they can control. I don't think I'm not that tech savvy, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, and up there in Greene County, I'm not sure how many of them have that.
Yeah, but this right here is another problem. You know, little Mayor Pete, our transportation secretary. He has made it illegal for anybody to fly drones over a devastated area. He said that it could hinder rescue efforts by the federal government. Well, the federal government's not there in the first place.
Yeah.
They're just simply trying to hide what's happening. They're afraid somebody's going to, record a video, post it, and show what's going on because the federal government's not doing anything. Yeah. And when they admit it, like Mayorkas did, we don't have any money left. You're just on your own. If the weather's bad, deal with it. I'm about to go again. I'm about to go.
Move on.
All right, but let me move on. I'm gonna have to move on to something else. This one might get me upset too. Here in Florida, we had a
Tanner wants to remind you who Michelle is. He said,
what? Do what?
He says, who is the girl? I think he came in after you introduced.
Oh, okay. Michelle J is. Yeah, okay. If you dropped in late, the one with no picture is Michelle J. She don't want to be on camera, but she is the one that's working with Pinball that created the tremendous donations that has taken truckloads, not just pickup truckloads, tractor trailer truckloads of supplies to people in devastated areas in Carolina and Tennessee. That's who the little Camry is you see down there. That was good. That kind of cooled me down. That was good. But something happened here in Florida that really set me sideways. The chief of police in the city of Okeechobee, he suspended the Second Amendment when the hurricane was about to hit. He put out a press release. It's a public notice right there. He popped that out there to tell everybody, you don't have the right to carry your gun, to buy a gun, to sell a gun. You don't want to be out in public with a gun, blah, 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 blah. But that went over like a turd in a punch bowl. I'll be honest with you.
That's not good.
The Florida Carry Association, who is instrumental in making open carry, concealed carry, permitless concealed carry here in Florida, instantly jumped on the ball. They notified the city that they were going to sue them. And they weren't the only ones that did that, because also the Firearms Policy Coalition and the Gun Owners of America jumped on board, and they are suing the city of Okeechobee. Well, of course, the city, they had to do a little crawfishing. So they put this out the next day talking about how, they were just trying to look out for everybody's safety. And the order was retracted that evening. It didn't even last. I think it was 8 or 10 hours maybe, but they're trying to crawfish on it. But it's too late. The damage is done because they're going to get sued. These organizations also notified the governor, Ron DeSantis, and they want him fired. He's an elected official, but the governor is the only one that can fire him. So they want him fired. But they are suing the city of Okeechobee, which hopefully will result in this guy being fired. I don't know who this little tyrant thinks he is. I don't care who he thinks he is. He can't violate the Second Amendment. He can't violate Florida law.
Didn't that happen out in Arizona?
I don't know out there, but that don't surprise me. Arizona's basically, California east a little bit, but
yeah, this is the second time I've heard of public officials coming on and trying to suspend during whatever was happening, suspend Second Amendment.
Yeah, oh yeah, they do it occasionally, but in a lot of states. Yeah, in a lot of states, they don't get the backlash that they're getting here. I mean, instantly, it didn't take an hour for these organizations to jump down the city's throat and say, look at what this guy's doing. You are going to pay for it. So hopefully they will make him pay for it. When that happens, I will happily update you that his ass is out the door. All right.
Well, you might be able to help me with this, OP, because I've not been down here except about 15 years, but I don't know that that's happened here in Tennessee.
I don't recall that happening in Tennessee ever. But I mean, right now, I'm going to tell you, Tennessee is kind of a weird, Tennessee's kind of like Florida, I guess. Yeah, that was a good question, because your big cities, Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga, which you're close to, Memphis, they're all liberal. The rest of the state is just conservative as it can be. And here in Florida, we have kind of the same problem. We got Tallahassee, we got here in Orlando, we got Jacksonville, which are, and Tampa, which are very liberal. Miami's kind of in the middle. But the thing here is our governor is just so staunch about being conservative. The one place he let us down as far as constitutional carry goes, he signed the bill saying we could carry without a permit as long as we kept our guns concealed, which, I'm not going to carry mine open even if I can. I'm not going to carry it where anybody can see it. But instead of just saying, okay, constitutional carry, if you want to carry, you carry. No, he didn't do that. He said, okay, you're going to have to hide that gun if you want to carry it. But like I said, I wouldn't do it anyway.
Yeah, ours is the opposite. It's constitutional carry, but it has to be open carry. If you've got a carry permit, it's open or concealed.
Well, here you don't have to have a permit. You can carry it, but I have a permit. You can still buy that permit. But I tell people to go ahead and do it because we have reciprocity with other states, like in Tennessee, like you're saying.
Right.
It's open carry there. But that's for Tennessee citizens. Now, me being from Florida, I go up there often. I got family there. I'm carrying my gun. If I don't have my Florida permit, which has a reciprocity with the state of Tennessee, then my gun can be taken and I can be arrested.
That's the same reason we have ours, because we have family in Indiana and there's reciprocity, so we can carry there too.
There you go. That's what you need to do. James, you look kind of like you don't know what's going on here, buddy.
Oh, no, I do. I just didn't want to jump in on you guys. North Carolina recently just got rid of their pistol purchase permits. Thank goodness.
Where you had to have a permit. Wait a minute. You had to have a permit to buy a gun?
A handgun.
Oh, my
Not
God.
a long gun. And that was like a Jim Crow era permit that they just recently, I'd say in the last couple of years, finally, basically when the Republicans more or less took over the House and Senate for North Carolina, they finally struck it down. With yes, you had to go to the sheriff's office and pay $5 per permit.
Oh my God.
And you got a piece of paper, and the paper was good for 5 years, and you could show that piece of paper. It was collected, and they sold, and you kept with your firearms paperwork, the ATF paperwork, stapled it all together and kept it. But
yeah,
you had to actually go to the sheriff's office and get a pistol purchase permit.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Wow, you would think that's unconstitutional. That's dead
It
again.
says Nebraska still has that too.
Yeah, I just popped that up.
It was basically because, so then what it allowed to happen would be the sheriff could just pick and choose who he approved or didn't approve for buying a handgun.
Exactly.
Because it was all on the sheriff.
Yeah. So if you're his buddy,
James,
no problem. Yeah.
James, I've got a question. When we went on our honeymoon, we rode through North Carolina. And at the time, and this has been years ago, reciprocity laws for North Carolina said it had to be concealed if you were from out of state. Do you know, is it still that way?
No, I don't. I don't remember it ever being that. I would never claim to be a firearms an expert in the law, but I worked at Academy and I slept at a Holiday Inn last night. But no, I worked at Academy at the gun bar, and it's the way that the law has been for such a long time, as long as I ever lived in North Carolina. It was you couldn't, unless you had a concealed carry permit, you could not have it not out in the open. If you had it in your car with you, it had to be in the seat. It had to be.
Oh wow!
If you did conceal it without a concealed carry permit, they could take it. Like Kim was saying earlier, they take it, they arrest you. And then you'd get the concealed carry permit, and you could do whatever you wanted to. There was no rules outside of just they wanted to sell you that concealed carry permit.
They wanted that money.
Yeah, they do. You think about those pistol purchase permits; they were $5 a piece, and you could buy up to 5 a day, and you could go back the next day and buy 5 more.
Really?
And the thing was too, there was no law that said that, like at Academy, you walked in with this piece of paper, you had a get out of jail free card for 5 years. And there was no background check.
Oh my God! Really?
Because supposedly the background check had been done
when you bought the permit
for the permit. So, but nothing is done in the meantime. So you could have gone on a shooting spree. You could have done all kinds of stuff. And because you have this pistol purchase permit, I could sell you a firearm, a handgun. It's stupid. And then the lawmakers fought tooth and nail to not do away with the permits.
Oh my goodness. Just money, man.
It's money.
Yeah.
It's money. But right towards the end, we actually do. And so here was the catch-22, and I think it was what finally broke that camel's back, or that during COVID, the Wake County Sheriff refused to process the pistol purchase permit.
Oh my goodness.
He didn't want people coming in their office with COVID.
Oh my goodness.
So now you can't, unless you already had permits, you couldn't get any new permits. And then because you had to have a permit to buy a handgun, in Wake County, all handgun sales stopped.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So then they finally, like you were talking about the Gun Owners of America, all these people jumped on him and was like, wait a second, you've got this crazy law that says people have to buy a permit. You won't process them, and you're infringing on people's Second Amendment right.
That's amazing.
All these permits it's just money.
Yeah, like
Really.
Grammy C says right here. Look here.
Yeah.
It's in the Second Amendment. How the hell can
Yes.
why do I have to buy a permit to practice my Second Amendment?
Yep.
But
Yep.
all right. We're gonna leave that right there, guys. I've
Yeah.
already spent my 30 minutes I ask you people to afford me every week. And I want to thank my guests for being here. What you got? You got something over there, babe? All right. Okay. Michelle J., thank you. Dahl, thank you so much. And Randy, thank you. What you guys did, you stepped up and you made life better for thousands of people.
Yeah.
There's a blessing waiting for you in heaven, guys. I promise you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
James, you look fat and happy. I'm glad you got through everything okay.
Yes.
Set up. We were ready to go. That's
ready
great.
to go.
I like hearing that. I like hearing that about my friends. I truly do. That's why we're here for. That's what we're here for. We want people to be ready for what's coming.
Yeah.
But tonight, I was wanting to concentrate on how our government has totally abandoned the American people. I want you to think about that next month when you vote. You know, it's just ridiculous the direction this country's going. They don't give a damn about me or you.
Yeah.
All they care about is one and Sahib or, whoever down the street there that they moved in, eating your cats, whatever. But I'm going to leave that right there.
But the American people still care, and we still love each other, and we are all still going to help each other.
That's right. That's what we do. We're Americans. We help each other. The time will come when we turn this around, guys. Hopefully it'll be done at the ballot box. Mm-hmm. But if it takes other measures, be ready to do that. All right. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you guys being here. Stay strong, keep prepping, and pray for the USA. The Orlando Prepper and crew is out.